Have you been doing a quest and you got run into by a bunch of skeletons? Maybe the normal variety or even a different kind of variety? Well, here's a full guide on how each skeleton works and how to easily take them down no matter how hard the quest. Let's get right into it. Now firstly, these are the basic skeletons. They take 3 hits with the sword or 1 sword launch to kill. They have no weaknesses, no strengths. A key thing I'm going to mention in this video is that fire will one-shot every single skeleton that spawns out of the ground that is not a boss. So it doesn't matter if they're plant, if they're gold, or if they're shadow, or they are just normal skeletons, 1 firebomb should do the trick. The first of the 3 skeleton types, this is going to be the plant skeleton. They take only 2 shots with the sword, and whenever they enter water, they can start to regenerate their health, and they're faster, and they attack faster. So ideally, you want to keep them outside of water, and make sure that you can try to sword lunge them if possible, because they're also really slow if they're not in water. The next variant here is going to be the golden skeleton. These guys are resistant to all sword attacks. They take much less damage to firepower. So your best bet is to either bring him towards water or just use fire. And if we can get him rusty and wet, all guns will just do 1 shot to him. The blunderbuss has to do like most pellets towards him, or you could use a firebomb. And that will also kill him if they don't enter the water. Now for the last variant, these are the shadow skeletons. Now, because it's daytime, they are vulnerable to all attacks. However, if it is nighttime, then they will be like a shadow, and you have to use your lantern in order to light them up. So I got lucky here being in the daytime, but if it wasn't, lantern would have to be the play. Or you can also use a flare on your cannons, and that'll also light up the sky, so it'll also light them up, making them vulnerable. And this is our first mini boss. So this is the Skeleton Lord. He does not have that much health. He has very basic attacks. He uses a gun, sometimes a sword. He can also summon skeletons from the ground. But other than that, he's pretty simple. You'll see him whenever you do Skeleton Lord quests, and whenever you do a basic Skeleton Fort. Those are the only 2 times you're going to see the Skeleton Lord. But if he keeps some distance, you always have ammo on you, you should be a-okay. He does have some of the attacks of the Ashen Lord, which we'll go over whenever that comes up. Keep in mind, he does have some pretty powerful attacks, like the gunshot that he has. It's a fast reload, does a lot of damage, so just make sure that you keep on top of him at all times. These also do have a teleporting mechanic, so they can burrow into the ground, and then you have to go back and try to face them. They're not too far away, but it can be pretty annoying if you're trying to just finish him off quickly. He takes only about 10 blunder shots, and he leaves behind a Crypto Skull and then 3 items of his variants. So it usually be like a Hexing Skull, or it could be a Mutinous Effigy, but he has unique loot to only him. It can often be worth it if you get in a bottle quest, for sure. Now on to the Ashen Lord. So this is the Ashen Lord. He is the more powerful version of the Skeleton Lord. Still not too hard, but it can be a great experience for new players to get used to him, but also can offer some pretty significant rewards. He can also summon skeletons. He has a lunge attack, and he also has an attack that will blow you away. In his first phase, he will only be putting out 2 skeletons if you are a solo player. If you are on a bigger crew, he will be bringing out more. Now, once you damage him enough, he will end up falling down just like this, making it very easy to get easy shots on him. So, because now he's entered phase 2. So now whenever he summons skeletons, he will be bringing in 3 at a time. His attacks to be a little more often. One ability that he has is that he can create a smoke screen for the player. And it doesn't hurt you, you just can't see very well. He also has a flamethrower attack that if you stand in it, does a significant amount of damage. And like I said, because he's in phase 2, he does these attacks way more often. So make sure that you keep your distance, have ammo on you. The blunderbuss is your best friend on this. Easiest way to kill him. Or a keg in my case. And then the skeletons that he spawns in, they also are as weak as plant skeletons. Now they don't regen in fire or water, but that's just a slush quirk for this battle. Now he's just entered his 3rd phase, and this is his special ability. So now what he can do is he can send down fireballs from the sky, but the problem is that you don't want your ship to be too far away, as mine is probably just outside that range. But these meteors can hit your ship and sink it real fast if you can't get back fast enough. So I recommend putting a ship honestly further away than I did, or keeping the boss a little bit more in a central location away from the water. And now that he's also in his 3rd phase, he's now spawning in 4 skeletons rather than 2 or 3. So keep that in mind. Now if you want to get a lot easier shots and you're not afraid of being out in the open, use your blunderbuss or your pistol or whatever gun you're using, and you want to stand right where he, like right outside the range of his fire attack. It does a lot of damage and he can't attack you, nor can he spawn in skeletons or nothing. All you can worry about is just the meteors, but if you are by yourself, the respawn time is only 10 seconds, so it's actually really fast, and for killing him, you get a really cool skull. It's also used as a weapon, but sells for 10,000 gold, so definitely not something to sleep on, for sure. Now for this boss, you're going to see him either in the fight with an Ashen Lord, or you're going to see him in a Fort of Fortune. Other than that, you probably won't see this boss coming in. This skull is also a very good weapon to use, but be careful on explosions. Now on to our final boss. And I'm sorry for the poor quality in this clip, but this is the Fort of the Damned. This is the biggest event that you can do for Athena, and the goal is you have to kill all the skeletons here that are affected by different lanterns. In order to start the ward event itself, you have to light all lanterns with different colors, and those different colors affect different skeletons. So as you saw earlier, those skeletons were glowing red, which meant that I had to go out and get the red lantern, use it to shine it against them. That makes them vulnerable, and then I can go in and kill them. If you kill enough waves, then you get to the final boss, Grey Marrow. Alright, lastly, this is the final wave, and there is Grey Marrow. So I don't think he's even that difficult. I think what makes it difficult is the fact that you're surrounded by skeletons that you have to use a lantern for. So other than that fact, this boss is super easy. I like to think of him as a better version of the Skeleton Lord. Not even National Lord. I think he's actually easier than National Lord health-wise and damage-wise. This event really isn't hard. You just have to make sure that you always have that lantern on you at all times, because that's the only way you can get rid of his minions. But the boss himself is actually super easy. If you have one of those really cool tridents, those also do a ton of damage against the boss, and I think one trident is enough to kill him. So just make sure that you keep doing as much damage to him. Blunderbuss is once again your best friend. If you can get a point blank, that does 100% of the damage. So this is I think one of the easiest fights you're gonna have if you can deal with the skeletons. Alrighty, and that is my guide for the skeletons and the skeleton bosses that you're going to be meeting. If you have any recommendations or anything that I might have missed, put that in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm sorry for the poor quality at the end of this. I had to get my footage from a stream that was only in 720p, so it's going to be a little awkward for computer users here. But if you have any questions or if I missed something, let me know down below. If you liked it, leave a like, because I make content like this all the time, and I hope to see you guys in future live streams and videos. I did all the time. So I will see you guys in the next video.